And now it's time for the latest exciting episode of Doz's Television Workshop.
Hello and welcome back to Doz's Television Workshop, where today we're going to be having a look at another Commodore 64. This is a Commodore 64C, and I can see through here, I think it might be a shortboard one. You can just see the bottom of the keyboard in there. I think the longboard version, that's slightly covered up. Could be wrong. Yeah, this has come about because, at least I hope at the time of you watching this, I fixed that beige bread bin that I've been having all the problems with. Now, I happened to mention this to a friend of mine, and he said, I'm sure I've got a C64 in the loft. And he said, would I like it? And I said, oh yes, please. What I was thinking was, brilliant, I can swap some bits out of that one, or bits out of between two bread bins, and work out what's going on with that faulty one. Unfortunately, that looks to be a 64C. Well, it is a 64C, and if it's a shortboard, it's got that completely different architecture. Well, not completely different, but so dissimilar. There's very little shared between the two systems other than compatibility. Different CPU, it's got the 8500 in it, I think, the 64C. The SID's different, the VIC's different, the RAM's different, everything's different. So there'll be very little I can swap between the two. Anyway, Daryl rang me up last weekend and he said, I've switched it on and nothing happens, and it made a nasty smell. Right, okay. So hopefully, yeah, we can put that right. So let's get into it. So here's the machine. It's got a few scuffs on it, but Mrs. Doz is out, which means the dishwasher can be abused. So I shall strip it apart and put that case in the dishwasher in a minute. I am going to resist plugging it in. If he says it smelled funny when he switched it on and nothing happened, let's not risk damaging anything. It has got a brick with it, power supply. I think I've put it back in the polys. It's got polys as well, and the cardboard sleeve. Again, not in the greatest of condition, but came at the right money, didn't it? It has got the brick power supply, but we'll stick to my power supply because we know that's good. And I will, at the end of this video, show you how to make a C64 saver. I've started seeing them advertised on the internet since I looked at C64 replacement power supplies, and I've got a cunning plan to make one for nothing, and I'll share that with you right at the end, which might just protect your C64 using the original power supply. So what are we going to need? We're going to need Doz's favourite screwdriver for this one. Some C64Cs have Torx in the bottom. We're lucky with this one because it's Phillips. Doz's favourite screwdriver. You can mock away all you want. I don't care. Right. 1, 2, 3 screws across the top, and then the keyboard should hinge out. 2. We've got that nice crack when you open the screws, so they've at least been in there a while, haven't they? Okay. Is it a shortboard? Bound to be. It's just my luck when I need anything but. Right. Get the keyboard out. Ah, that's interesting. The LED is already unplugged. Okay. Oh, and I think I see the source of our smell. Tell me if you can spot it at this early juncture. I'll give you a clue. It's that capacitor there. Yeah, it's let go. Right, keyboard out. There's just, it's the plus key and the space bar seem to have yellowed. Worse than anything else. If the rather intermittent British summer continues, I'll put it in the sun. And we'll give it a little sun brighting. Right, keyboard out. I shall evict the dust bunnies in moments few. There's the keyboard connector. Now I have to say, I'd sort of started saving up for an Amiga when these were out. You could actually buy an aftermarket C64C case and fit your old bread bin board in there if you wanted to look a bit more modern. Personally, I'd rather the classic, but there we are. Right, out you come. Come on. Never. Does that say 1991 on it? Yes, look at this. Really is late production. Dated 91. That's 95. There's our 8500. They called it an MPU on these. Rather than that, there's plenty of dust and filth. But look at that. That's let go. Super. Right. So that's very loose. That LED, I mean, it might have been left open since the factory. Never plugged in. Bracket and its screw. That capacitor's obviously in the power supply. We've got our bridge rectifier there for the 9 volts. Whoops! I hope I didn't just put that through the screen of my beloved LCD monitor. One there, 3 along here. It's amazing to see how that architecture had evolved between, you know, our bread bin, which is what, 1982 dated, and this late model. A marvel of modern miniaturization. Right, those are our screws out. Now, do I remember you have to wiggle these to get them out of the corner a bit? Or did I make that up? There we go. Easy. No sign of any liquid spillage. I think it's just that capacitor that's let go. Of course, it's never that easy at the moment, is it? I was hoping I'd get another bread bin, but so I could finish a video, make 2 out of 1 or something, but there we are. We've got this. It's very pleasant, except for C66. I think the next thing we'll do, let's just have a look at the schematic and see what C66 actually does. Okay, I'm at the best place you can get C64 schematics, and that is zimmers.net. And we have a revision 250469, a revision B schematic, 250469 revision B. They come in 2 sections because they always do, left and right. So yeah, here's the left hand side of the circuit, and to be honest, this is the only bit that vaguely sort of resembles a bread bin, because we've got 2 6526s here. The CPU is different, they call it an MPU in here, look, and that's an 8500. Kernel ROM's over there. That's our other 6526. There's a 4066 switch to do the pots, because that never changed from the paddles. That's about all we got in there. There are some 41464 RAM chips, which are different from the 4146 RAM chips in the 64. Let's have a look at the right hand side, and yeah, there's our other RAM chip. There's the character ROM. U8 is a 25253501. That's VIC, isn't it? No, that's VIC, which is an 8565. What's a 252301? Plenty of addresses going on. Oh, that's the PLA. So a very much different PLA. 8526, which is the 8563, which is the VIC, and SID has changed quite dramatically. It only has a single 5-volt supply. No, it doesn't. It has 9 and 12. Why is that called 2 different voltages? Anyway, There's SID, and that is, I think, an 85. Let me get this right. 8580, and in our particular board, that's a revision 5 chip. 8580 SID version. There we go. Oh, it's just 6561 as well. There's our difference. That's our supply voltage. Supply voltage should be 12.6, and in our 8580 it should be 9.6. Okay. U28701. What's that? Input. Oh, 5 volts. That is, of course, the clock generator. Such a simple clock circuit on the C64C. Right, talking of C's, here's our power supply. Fuse, a
full bridge rectifier.
Then we've got an unusual circuit here, because you can see we AC coupled that and into a different regulator, which actually takes this voltage rail up a little bit, and it's then smoothed by C66, which is a 330 mic 35 volt cap. That's what's let go in our machine. We've got a simple voltage stabilizer here. So we've got a pass transistor, this 2SC 1384 here, NPN transistor, and then we've got our 2 voltages out, and that is set by the value of CR7. So it's either +9 or +12, and if we go back down here, CR7 is either a 12.6 Zener or a 9.6 volt Zener. So yeah, let's make sure that's working right. But there's our problem, look, is that C66, that's the one that's blown its top. This is 9 volts AC, none of the 5 volts is involved here. C63, we may warrant to look at that one as well. So yeah, let's just, in fact, C45, 220 mic, no voltage listed. Let's have a look at these 3 electrolytic capacitors and see what they're like. Have a quick look on the physical board. You'll notice the 2 6526s are at opposing ends. They're sort of put together on the bread bin. There's SID, there is VIC, PLA, etc. Does a bit more than that. 8500, 2 ROMs, bit of support logic. Here's the clock generator. As you can see, it's much simplified compared with the bread bin circuit, certainly the revision of bread bin we were looking at. And there's C66, and that's our 1000 mic. That looks in good nick. Yeah, that looks in very good condition. It's just C66 has spewed its guts. So let's put the desoldering gun on just to warm up. And let's find a paintbrush and blow some of this dust and horribleness out of here. And let's just get rid of some of that unpleasantness. Ugh, covered in it now. Right, how's the desoldering gun doing? Nearly up to temperature. So C66 is that fella there. He's coming out. Oh, we've seen some action, haven't we? We have seen a bit of action. I suppose they could have been hand soldered at the factory, maybe. There's a lot of flux left on there, and we've had some track repairs in the past. It doesn't fill me with confidence, does it? LED unplugged. Well, Darryl did say it was once working, so all that crustiness has come off the top of that capacitor now. It's all over me bench. Right, let's get it out, get it changed. Right, ground is towards me, remember that. Not quite managed to desolder it. That's all but out. A touch with the iron, it should be free. It is free. Excellent. Oh, and it's all crusty around the bottom and crusty on the board and general crustiness. Now, there's another interesting fact. Diagram said that was 330 mic. That's clearly 470. Not that that's going to bother me. Let's clean that corrosion off the PCB. There's something on there as well, the keyboard connector. Right, no other visible signs of spillage though, which is good news. I wonder if somebody almost completely rebuilt this at some stage, looking like everything's gone out. Both CIAs have been out. Wow. Anyway, there it is. So we need 470 mic at about 30 volts. What have we got? 35 volts. 470 at 25. 470 at 63. It's a bit of a monster though. I'm not going to have one, am I? Oh my goodness. This is majorly suboptimal. What have I got in a 680? Lots of 25 volt parts. Oh, for goodness sakes. What's that? 25 volt 680. That's utterly useless. What have I got in an actual 330? 35 volts. Schematic said it had one of those in it. Let's go with that. I mean, it's got to be better than what was in there. So, yeah. Right. Chuck that in there. The others look physically in really good condition. We will just put the ESR meter across them and see how they read. If they read bad, we shall sling them out. The sockets have been soldered and everything, hasn't it? It's had a real life, this thing, you can tell. I mean, Daryl may have had it repaired back in the day. Though, to be honest, probably by the time this broke and was being repaired, it wouldn't have had much value because the Amiga would have been well underway. Just going to clean up that edge connector with a touch of contact cleaner. That's the cassette port, that one. You see it's quite tarnished up. I don't like using abrasives on these because they've got some sort of plating on. They all seem to clean up quite nicely. Let's do the other side. You can see that's taking off a lot of the tarnish. Somebody used the user port a lot as well, look at that. Well, the cartridge port is full of fluff and horribleness. It's a blowout of the air duster really. Where's that? Chewing gum remover upside down. Oh, there it all goes. Nasty. Give that a squib as well over here. Why wouldn't you? That's looking a lot better. Right, these are the capacitors while we're in here. Right, on with the Peak Atlas ESR meter. We shall start off with this 1000 mic here. Measures good. 2 dings is good stuff. So 16 volt this one, 100 microfarads. In circuit or leaky. Alright, let's have a little look at that in a minute out of circuit. And this is the series capacitor that forms that part of that voltage multiplier. And he's very good. That is excellent. Right, I'm just going to uplift one leg of that capacitor there. The one that read leaky. Put some fresh solder on it, always helps. Can I get away with just one leg over them? Oh, nearly. I think we'll desolder it. One leg is very stubborn indeed. The dreaded double-sided has come to bite us. Yeah. Right. ESR going back on. I've got one leg out. So let's just go between there and that leg there. He's all good. 2 dings. Fabulous stuff. Let's pop him back in. Let's see if I can get him out, because I want to clean that leg up. Come on, you know you want to. Yeah. Because we'll never get him back in while he's like that. Right. Are the holes clear? No. Where's the magic hole cleaning tool gone? Ah, I spot it. Just put a touch of fresh solder on this component side. See if we can't suck that out of the hole. The answer is no, we can't. There's a lot of ground plane here, and it's just sucking the heat straight out of the board, straight out of the iron. It's going to have to be the hole clearing tool. Put your pin through the hole. It's actually a sewing needle because there's stainless steel. Solder reluctantly sticks to it. So more often than not, you'll just clear the hole out. Right, there's a legend on the board for polarity, but they're all pointing the same way anyway. There we go, he's back in. Not sticking through very much. I use a bit of a jaunty angle to start with, that's better. Right. Okay. Whoa. there's a catastrophe. Everything went south. Less haste, more speed. I used to work with a guy called Jeff, and he always used to say you'll never get anywhere if you're too hasty. Right, should we have a little go with the video grabbing tool as well? Power supply is currently off. That is off. Hurrah! Right, I'm just going to go and set up the video grabber. You stay there and I shall be back in a moment. Okay, power. RF is going to the TV. We're in snowy RF mode. That's going out to the frame grabber for video. Power supply is connected. Let me just put that back up out of the way. Power supply is going on. Two little lights. We've got power. And 3, 2, 1. Moment of truth. Yay! Would you look at that? That's great news. So that appears to be working. We could just put the test cartridge in, couldn't we? One moment, please. We could just run a test and see if all is well. Way. I think that is for nothing at all. Is it the other way around? Is that it? Yeah, there we go. So yeah, let's wait till that completes. I was just worried then that our clock down at the bottom of the screen wasn't updating, but I think it will. So yeah, PLA okay, colour RAM, it's okay. Cassette's bad, we haven't got the harness connected, so keyboard is open. There's a surprise. Ah. Too bad 6526s. $6581 bad. We didn't fit it. That's probably why those are failing. I don't know. Does that not work on a short board? This one, of course, gives it its other name, which I think appeared in Europe, maybe America with, which was a C64E. But this is clearly a PAL machine. And working beautifully. Oh, come out. There we go. So, right. Excellent news. Let's get that case in the dishwasher and get that cleaned up. Leave the keyboard in the sun and have a game of Thing on a Spring. Well, it's just that one key there, look. Slightly different shade. But it's getting a sunbathe and, well, removing its suntan. Right, I've taken the liberty of installing the motherboard and the RF shield. We need to reconnect the keyboard. Again, look out for the pin that ain't there. So that goes in that way around. Got that easier than last time. Now the keyboard fits in under these lugs there. And then we have two machine screws that just hold it down to the bracketry. That really isn't the right bit for the job. It'll be that one. There we are. Oh, sucks hold of the screw, that one. Right. Get the lid This has all had a good dishwash, by the way, and a sit in the sun. Now, unlike the previous repairer, we'll plug the LED in this time. There we go. Now, hooks in at the rear on the 64C. Sometimes. LED wiring is stuck out. Perhaps that's why they didn't bother with it. They just got frustrated with it. That's it. Just disconnect that for a moment. We're going to need it in a minute. There we go. For future reference, it's serial number HB5148385E, made in China. I need my favourite screwdriver. There we go. Let's plug the power in. This is to the grabber and to the TV set now. Okay, let's just confirm operation. We've got a power light. It's not the brightest thing in the world. And we've got that wonderful screen. Right, let's hope we don't have the problems of the last 64 we did. In with a Kung Fu flash. That's loaded with pleasantries. We shall pop a joystick in port 2. We shall power up. And Kung Fu Flash always remembers the last thing you were doing. And in this case, it was playing Thing on a Spring, just for a change. And there we have it. Thing on a Spring in all its glory. Let's just check we've got a background and everything. Oh, we have. Oh, gosh. Oh, this joystick is horrible. If anybody wants to donate me a decent joystick, I'd be really happy to see that. Stupid game. There we go. A nice, easy repair to a Commodore 64. Unlike the last one. So yeah, that was given to me by my mate Darryl, who found it in his attic after the conversation about the bread bin, and he said, I found some more stuff, wonder if you'd like that. I've got another C2N 1530 data set. I must have loads of those now. But the other thing is, he said, I think there's a disk drive up there. So I was hoping it was going to be the matching sort of 3.5-inch disk drive that I've never actually seen in the flesh. Sadly it wasn't, but it is this very nice matching coloured 1541. Now I've got some beige 1541s. In fact, both of those featured in the film Bandersnatch. So they're slightly screen famous. But yeah, I've got a beige one to match that now. I'll go through that another time. I ought to do a video separately on 1541s as well, because to be honest, I don't think I've ever used any of them. And there's a couple of interesting projects we could do with that, but that's a job for another day. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Click like, subscribe, do all that rubbish, and come back really soon here on Doz's Television Workshop. I'm off now for a game of Super Pipeline 2. See you later. Bye.